So I'm going to demo the interface example for the final project. And you can see I've got menu buttons that would go to the 3 games, and I also have one for the README text file. So the first game is puzzles, where they're going to select from a list of images, and it'll display in pieces, and then they will put the puzzle together. The second game is blackjack, which is basically 21. And the third game is Zeppo's World, where they're going to help Zeppo the monkey get through the jungle and dodge the snakes that are trying to eat him. And then my README just says the games on this site are copy protected and cannot be distributed without permission. Okay, so this is pretty much my interface. And I'm going to go ahead and run my slideshow. So for the interface design, for the audience, the puzzle games basically can be played for all ages. Basically, if they can use a mouse and they can drag it, they can put the puzzle together. Blackjack would be for a little older. They do need to be able to add to 21. So if they cannot add to 21, looking at cards, then they would not be able to play the game. Zeppo's World, they would have to be able to either click buttons or use arrows on their keyboard in order to play that. So it is designed for all ages, but they do have to be able to do some manipulating with either the mouse or the keyboard. And I did show you the site, so you did see the menu buttons at the top that display or hide the game. One thing I did not show, and I'll pull that up again, is that each one of these has a close button. So you can open it and you can close it. As far as the layout that I used the grid because it's responsive. I think it's pretty easy to use. I also had a flexible menu and flexible containers for the games. So if I pull that back up, okay, and I resize, okay, you'll see that it is flexible. As far as the color scheme, I basically used an adjacent color scheme. And here I'm showing you Paladin.com, and you can see the colors that I chose, and then all of the different shades in this example. So at that site, you can display tables of your colors, and then you can also click and it'll generate CSS for you. So it's showing you the colors in hex and RGB. So the reason I selected the colors is I actually really liked this cool abstract background. And I did want people to kind of relax and de-stress while they were playing. And so shades of blue are very calming. The shades of pink kind of are energy evoking, which is appropriate. I mean, you don't want to be so laid back that you can't play. And purple is more of a sentimental color. So as they're going through the puzzles, they may see, you know, landscapes or things that evoke sentimental feelings. And the turquoise color invokes balance and healing. Again, this is designed for people to de-stress. So the menu itself, it was pretty simple. There is a hover effect that was applied so you could see if the button was active or not. I basically used UL and LI tags along with CSS. It's pretty clear and easy to navigate, and I added that close button inside to make it completely interactive. The only coding issue was getting that close button to display in the area I wanted it to show in the upper right corner, and getting it so that I could manipulate the button for each one of the games. And I wanted to use the same class name in each one of those games. So I used a span tag with class, but then in order to target that in my JavaScript, I had to do get elements by class name, and then I had to subscript in, because this is a node list, okay? Because there's 4 that have that same class name. So I had to subscript in, so the 0 would be the first one for game 1. Close sub 1 is the one for game 2, etc. So basically subscript in and checking for clicking on the X, the close. And if they clicked on the X, then they changed the display for that particular block to none. So that's pretty much how I got the close button to work. I didn't really have errors with it. It just was a little tricky to figure out. Okay, so that is what I am planning for my games.